tap
Hello
next.
everyone,
We have
what's
a real
up? It's me, the
fan
Phenomenal
favorite
One,
in
and
a match
welcome
that
back
is
to
sure to
another
not disappoint.
episode of My Universe. Today we are on episode 3 with a Raw once again, and let's see what our show starting up is. First off, we have Bayley taking on a Charlotte with Dana Brooke inside Charlotte's corner. Next up, Big E takes on Titus O'Neil with the New Day backing him up. Bo Dallas has something to say. R-Truth and Goldust take on Cesaro and Sheamus. Next, we have Chris Jericho taking on Seth Rollins with Kevin Owens in Chris Jericho's corner. Cesaro and Sheamus teams up to take on Bo Dallas and Curtis Axel. And then in our main event, we have the Brian Kendericks, Cedric Alexander, TJ Perkins, and Noam Dar facing off in a fatal four-way. Let's see what we got today. Bayley defeated Charlotte. That's a big victory. Big E defeated Titus O'Neil. Curtis Axel defeated Bo Dallas. Some tension, it looks like. Sheamus Cesaro defeated R-Truth and Goldust. Chris Jericho defeated Seth Rollins, and Cesaro and Sheamus defeated the social outcast. Bo and Curtis Axel. Looks like their tension was building very much. But tonight we are here, and the question is, who's going to be our first ever Cruiserweight champion? This is exactly what the title is going to be for. Our first Cruiserweight champion, the Cruiserweight division, the first episode starts now.
has to offer. A classic.
And what a big way to start it off. Then with TJ Perkins, Brian Kendericks, Cedric Alexander, and Noam Dar. 3 or 4 of the best competitors. The Brian Kendrick, a former competitor already in WWE. Pretty sure he's a former Cruiserweight champion back then as well. TJ Perkins, Noam Dar, and Cedric Alexander just recently signed with Raw, along with a lot more Cruiserweights who will be making their debuts in the coming weeks. I'm going to have to build those stuff up very soon. But the Cruiserweights are starting now. If we could get it to load. But as I said, the first technical Cruiserweight champion of My Universe mode to be crowned. In real life, there is a Cruiserweight champion that is TJ Perkins. But I wanted to crown a new one, or just get a very fresh one. Since all of our stuff is current day, I want to try something a little different and not current day. And so we have a fatal four-way to decide who's going to be a champion. If this can continue to load, that would be phenomenal. Okay. Why is this taking forever? This is very, very... Just wow. I think this is taking longer than it usually does back in 2K17. Alright, there we go. Finally start. But episode 3, the Cruiserweights episode. As you can see, we got some more, the new placement. Here comes the Brian Kendericks. This man, the former wrestler. He said this is his last chance to become champion. The last chance in WWE or wrestling as a whole, possibly. And so if he could win this, that would be a very huge chance for him.
177 pounds, the Brian Kendrick.
Brian Kendrick makes his way down. And next we have Cedric Alexander making his way
from
down.
Charlotte,
Cedric
North
Alexander,
Carolina,
a big
weighing in
star
at
on the independent team. Now he's on WWE. He had to lose so much pounds or so much weight to become an official Cruiserweight. And now that he has that weight done,
look at these guys.
he's
This has
ready
the
for this
makings of an
Cruiserweight
instant
division.
classic. We're Garrett.
Next up we have TJ Perkins. possibly the favorite
from
to win
Los
this. CJ
Angeles,
Perkins,
California,
a big competitor on
weighing
the
in
team
at
as before.
168
He actually used to work in the WWE a few matches as JP Quinn. A little known
sometimes
fact
a
that you
superstar just has
probably
that
might
look
not
in
have
his
known.
eye. And this is one of those times.
Coming
We
here with
finally
his
fill the
sneakers
void
all
here
mixed up.
tonight. But
He
which
might wanna
one of
buy
these
some different
competitors
sneakers.
will we be called?
And next up, we have our final competitor, Noam Dar. I skipped through Noam Dar entrance. For the Cruiserweight Championship, this should be a very big match.
And there's that championship
The big
title
purple
that we're
strap
fighting
belt,
for.
a very new strap belt to be our new Cruiserweight division. And Brian Kendericks, Cedric Alexander, TJ Perkins, and Noam Dar. And this match begins.
Let's face it, it's difficult to be successful in WWE
right now.
one-on-one action, but
And TJ Perkins took it down with clothesline. As well as Brian Kendericks took it down Noam Dar. But Noam Dar able to get out of the way.
Finally, we
Ooh,
will
and
have
Cedric
a home
Alexander
for
taking
that
it to
vacant
TJ
championship
Perkins.
title after this match.
Always interesting to see what alliances unfold in a four-way.
Oh, a hurricanrana. I didn't know exactly what was going to happen. But, ooh, TJ Perkins taking down Cedric Alexander one more time.
What's your analysis of Perkins? In a fatal four-way, there are lots of moving parts. What does he need to do to separate himself here?
Well, surviving this fatal
Ooh, a
four-way
big
match won't be
clothesline.
easy.
Taking
There's
down
a
Cedric
lot of
Alexander.
hungry talent in that ring.
And a big old flip takes him down. Noam Dar going to the top as well as TJ Perkins. Oh, he took down Noam Dar instead. And now Brian Kendericks taking down his friend TJ Perkins.
Expanding the repertoire with that move. What a crushing
a big leg drop takes down TJ
And he's
Perkins.
heading back in.
I can't blame him.
Now, why did he do that? A move like that's low. It's appalling, if you ask me. Totally
He's going for a
disrespectful.
super kick.
Well, he sees the belt.
And
He
now,
likes to hit below.
Noam Dar takes him down. Cedric Alexander and Brian Kendericks going at each other.
That'll leave you dizzy in a hurry.
Now TJ Perkins down. Cedric Alexander and Noam Dar and Brian Kendericks are in a further
He
battle.
looks to be a little surprised right now.
I tell you, we knew this was going to be a close affair.
Oh my
but
God.
I don't think we expected it to be
TJ
this
Perkins
tight.
going after
What
Cedric
a
Alexander.
match.
Well said, John, and now's the time for one of these guys to take hold of this match. He's showing no signs of letting up.
Everybody getting out just before he gets hit with the bat.
Watch it.
The bat got thrown up all the way in the air.
He's not looking like
And now TJ Perkins back down.
Here's it coming.
Noam Dar going for a big pin. And that was not enough to keep down Brian Kendericks
Just
yet.
look at this. You can see the results from that move.
It appears the back has a giant target on it.
No, man. Noam Dar rolls out of the ring just in time.
He's obviously hoping to end it quickly.
We're going for a pin, and not just enough. TJ Perkins able to break it up.
Gotta be hard to
That
rebound
looks like
from
a
that one.
reverse diamond cutter. Oh man,
Oh,
just
they
before he
couldn't
get out
find a
of the
home
ring.
for that one.
Well, it certainly wasn't due to a lack of trying, Michael.
Now Noam Dar and Cedric Alexander on the ground, and a DDT by
Back
TJP.
between the ropes.
And now
Wow,
a hurricanrana
he's still
for the
down after
measure.
that.
TJP is trying to go to get the world champ or become world champion, cruiserweight champion.
He's delivering an old-fashioned butt kicking
No,
right
no,
here.
not enough just yet. And now the Brian Kendericks.
I move
Ooh, a
like
big
that is
suplex
completely
kick down.
unnecessary. Unless you want to
TJ
degrade
Perkins.
your opposition, of course. Alexander scores big.
Yeah, but is it enough? Is it enough? Come on, Alexander. Okay, he stumbled a bit, but
Brian
he's all
Kendericks
right.
takes down TJ Perkins. He's going for a big thing up on the top. Possibly going to just. And Brian Kendericks down as well. Noam Dar and Cedric. Oh, now Noam Dar is the only one left in the ring.
Oh, he missed. Oh, nobody home that time.
Perhaps
This
they're going
match
to take
could go
the
to
action to the
anybody.
outside here.
Perhaps it's happening, Cole, right before your very eyes. He's in big
This
trouble.
match has been huge right now.
And he reversed it.
Oh.
Good move there.
Oh man. And now TJ Perkins, neck breaker by Brian Kendericks onto TJP, taking him down.
The face is absorbing a lot
Ooh,
of damage
now
here.
leg drop.
King, once you get outside the ring, anything can happen.
Yeah, and it usually does.
Right now,
Over the
everybody's
years,
so
I've seen
evenly
more
matched.
careers
Brian Kendericks and Cedric Alexander seem to be taking the most punishment out of them all. But still, you never know.
Here you have to be able to think on your feet lightning fast.
Now Cedric Alexander throwing him back in the ring. Cedric Alexander throwing in the ring. TJ Perkins now, only one left out. Noam Dar into the corner. Now TJ Perkins starting to get back to his feet.
I'm having a hard
Very
time
slowly,
figuring out
and
what
he's
they're
back
going
up
to
to
do
his feet.
next.
Me too. I've given up even trying to figure out what they're going to do next. I'm just sitting back watching and enjoying.
This is what makes him one of the
Oh,
best in
and he
the
takes down
business.
Brian Kendericks, but out of a big old wrist.
He's setting up.
Wait,
This guy's just getting
TJ
worn
Perkins.
out.
First time for
Oh
everything, I
man,
guess.
now picking him back up. What does TJ Perkins have planned?
Wait a minute.
Oh.
It's not over yet. He's still got some fight left.
And now
He's still
TJ
going
Perkins.
for
Oh, a
the
big old
guts.
kick.
He's sending a message to the entire WWE locker room here.
And now TJ Perkins.
He's pulling out all the stops. To the
A big kick to the head.
scores
Oh,
big.
TJ. Oh,
Is it
Cedric
enough?
Alexander by
Come
TJ
on,
Perkins.
Alexander.
Now
I'll
Noam
tell
Dar
you
into the
this,
ring.
his
That may
opponent's in
cause some
major
distraction.
pain right
Noam Dar
now.
may be looking for a pin. Going straight towards
Take a
Cedric
look at this one
Alexander.
more time. I've never seen anything like it.
Now going for the pin. He's gonna. Nope, he's not.
Down to the floor.
Oh, hard. Not where you want to be.
Now going for the pin. Is that gonna be enough? One,
Count right.
two, and no.
Gotta be
It
careful
took
not
too
to go
long
to the well
to
too
get
many
the pin.
times. You do remember Wells, don't you, Michael?
Not really, but you are from Tennessee, so I
Oh,
get
and
it.
close
You
line.
still use
Takes
them.
down TJ Perkins.
Now, why did he do that?
Ooh, a big kick to
move
the
like
face.
that's low. It's appalling, if you ask me. Totally disrespectful.
Cedric
Well, when he
Alexander
sees
trying
the
to make a
belt, he
comeback.
likes to hit below it. He's in a world of trouble. Much more of this, and I
He's
doubt
going to the
he'll be
top
able to
rope.
continue.
This is an incredibly bad spot for him to be in here in this four-way match.
You know what? I wish he'd just stay in the ring and
Oh,
fight like a
and
man.
now he's down.
Man,
Cedric
at this
Alexander
point, he's just
is
risking
still going right
serious
after.
injury.
Now
I mean, take it from me. One
teasing
match
TJ
is
Perkins,
just not worth
showing
your
off to the
career.
crowd a bit. Oh man, look at Brian Kendrick took him down by Noam Dar.
Wow, that was a wild strike. Talking about missing the target.
Yeah, it looked like it was completely out of desperation.
Oh,
at
another
this.
clothesline.
Somehow he's
Anything he
still-
tries to do,
He's been
it
through
seems
hell,
that.
and his ribs have bore the brunt of the attack.
And I hope we can get a doctor out here as a precaution. Damaged ribs like that can make it hard to breathe.
Now, what's
He's looking
TJ
at-
Perkins? He's setting up for something.
Look at
Oh
this,
man,
it's
the leg lock,
Look at
the
him
leg
trying to
lock.
use all the strength and power he can muster.
This is
He's gonna be able to get out of the knee bar.
He's trying to force.
No, not enough.
Check
Brian
the whip,
Kendrick able to get out of it.
This is insane.
And now, one,
Think he's got it.
2, 3, and TJ Perkins is our first ever Cruiserweight champion. Noam Dar and Brian Kendrick a little distracted, while Cedric Alexander was able to get pinned by TJP, and TJP is our first Cruiserweight champion here in WWE. What a big win for this young man, beating possibly three of our best competitors here in the Cruiserweight, possibly even in Raw. But TJ Perkins, our first
Here are your
Cruiserweight
winners
champion.
and
Congratulations to
winners,
him. A big victory here tonight.
TJ Perkins.
And that'll have to do it for tonight.
This one.
Thank you everyone
And
for
there's your
watching.
winner,
If you
folks.
enjoyed
I
today's
can't
episode,
say that
make
I'm
sure
all
you
that
like
surprised
button
by
along
the
with
outcome,
subscribing.
Cole.
It will really
When
help
it's your
and
night,
support.
it's your night.
Really
By
would
the
be
sound of
great.
this crowd, I'm
And I'll
not
see you all
sure
next time.
this is who they expected to win this one.